Somebody that's willing to work hard. You know, hard worker is a big in any construction, in any of the building trades. Math is a big thing in our trade. You're doing a lot of math and measuring, geometry. We do a lot of true length lines. You know, we do a lot of triangles in our layout. You know, geometry, a lot of algebra. Yes. You know, all that stuff, a lot of that stuff can be learned along the way. But math is a very important part of it. If anybody's taking drafting classes, that gets you a big head start on understanding blueprints, understanding how, you know, basically somebody's got some mechanical comprehension, some math ability, and willing to work. I mean, we do work inside and outside, so you need to be somebody that doesn't expect to sit at a desk all day. We're going to be, you know, in the next several years, it looks like our area, Madison's, made it through the recession a little bit better than most areas around the state and around the country. Work around here looks like it's not going to slow down. Sheet metal workers has got a kind of unique thing that the other trades don't have either. Is we've got an early retirement plan. If you have 30 years service and reach the age of 55, you can retire full pension. So I believe we're the only trade that has anything like that. A lot of our apprentices start out as what we call pre-apprentice. They could contact me and I find them a place to go to work, or they can get hired on at a contractor through solicitation or through an application process, and then we get them going. You know, because the apprenticeship program is run through the state of Wisconsin. Just because they want to become an apprentice and the contractor wants to make them one, we still have to go through the steps of the state of Wisconsin to make them apprentices. But most of our apprentices start out as a pre-apprentice first, and then the contractor makes a decision if they're worth the investment. A pre-apprentice is like a helper, you know, and it's a great thing because they get the opportunity to decide if this is what they want to do. You know, you get an experience at it. They could be working in the shop making ductwork. They could be working in the field holding the other end of something with a journeyman or an apprentice. It's a commitment on both ways. The apprentice is making a commitment to the contractor and to the apprenticeship program, and the contractor is making a financial investment in that person also. We accept applications all year long, 5 days a week, all year long. Twice a month at MATC, and that's a no-cost test. They do, I believe it's one Monday a month is in the mornings, and one Monday a month is in the evenings, so you can catch people that are working different shifts. You can take tests when you're 17. Most contractors won't hire anybody in the construction field until you're 18. That's part of the application process, is diploma or equivalency. Yes, it's pretty informal. At our JEC meetings, we'll call apprentice applicants in and do I guess it's an interview, but we go through what to expect when they, you know, and then they get approved as apprentice applicants, which is another formality before you can become an apprentice. I wanted to bring up one aspect of our trade that I forgot to mention is we also have an EST apprenticeship program, which stands for Environmental Service Technician. That's doing our service work. They learn how to maintain, do preventative maintenance, service work, repairs, and replacements of pretty much all the equipment that we work with. And we have a state-of-the-art facility in Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Area Technical College. That's where our EST apprenticeship program is. We sent them down there for that. We have a lot of people with specialties. Our apprentices learn the whole trade. as an overview, but a lot of people develop their own specialties. We have guys that are super stainless steel welders and polishers. They're the guys working in the custom stainless shops, making sinks and countertops and hoods, and going out and doing food service type work. You know, we've got other guys that you know, their expertise is HVAC. You know, other people do metal roofs, but we learn the whole part of it. You know, that's part of being in the union. We're multi-employer. You know, we represent multi-employers. Our apprentices, not so often, but our journeymen, when one company's busy and another's not, they don't have, you know, this people needs more guys. These people that don't have anything to do here can move from that company to this company. All of our benefits are through our local union and international unions, so everything follows with. There's no change in health insurance. There's no change in your pension plans. Everything, we're multi-employer on all of that, so that's another bonus to us is you can change companies, you know, and that's the way construction is.
I just recently got in. I'm 33 years old now. I'm a first year apprentice. My father's been in the trades for quite a few years, over 20 years. And I always kind of like the hands-on work, so kind of want to follow that footstep. Before I was a sheet metal worker, I was subcontractor, worked for myself, did a lot of building houses and subcontracting, but it wasn't so consistent. And I didn't have a lot of education, so I wanted to do something where I get educated. So I chose to be a sheet metal worker, and I went and I took the test and got accepted in. That's pretty much how I started. That's what my dad was doing, and they seemed to be real busy at the time, so I just kind of had an easy in. I went online, I took a little practice test, and I still wasn't comfortable, so then I contacted the JAC. They helped me out with getting me someone that would do some free training. They tutored me, gave me information I needed to know, and then I just took the test when I was ready for it. A lot of trainings at nighttime. You've got night classes, so I'll go to work during the day, and then usually have a little period of time where you can go get something to eat and then go to school in the evenings. And then on Tuesdays I go to school all day, and then which I get paid for, which is another nice benefit about it. And a lot of my education is all either paid for or reimbursed once I complete it. They do have guidelines. You have to maintain a certain grade point and then a certain attendance. But other than that, it's real doable. Most classes are usually about 5 to 8 because some jobs work like 8 to 4:30, or some jobs work 6 to 2:30. Just all different, depends on where you're at, what the company allows. So I like to keep it later. Right now I have 2 evening classes. Well, I know a lot of kids do, they decide they want a certain career path in college and then end up putting a lot of effort in college. And then a lot of kids, do take the military way. That way they can, have tuition, help pay for the tuition for college. So I guess what I tell a lot of people, I have kids and they have friends, so I tell a lot of people, if you don't know what you want to do, or if you do like hands-on, always look into, I really am for apprenticeships. I believe that they are real educational. You get a lot of hands-on training. You got the book training, and a lot of it you get paid for both. So I think it's a pretty smart way to go. The unions, as Scott was saying earlier, if you work for a company that's not union, you get laid off, you go find another job, all your benefits start over. If you're working in union, your benefits carry with you. That's pretty important. We all need health benefits, and insurance and that, and that's one big benefit about it. And then another thing is like the on the job training, all the education that you get. You don't get that a lot of other places. So I believe the unions are pretty important. I was covered since a pre-apprentice, as soon as I got accepted into the union, I believe.
As an apprentice, you start paying into pension funds. On the health insurance end of it, as a first-year apprentice, you get basic medical. After your first year, then you get vision, hearing, dental, all that stuff added on after the first year. Thanks for coming, Jim. One thing I wanted to mention that I just realized I forgot to is Sheet Metal Workers International, which is now has a new name. It's called SMART, Sheet Metal Air, Rail, and Transportation Union. We have all our curriculum that taught in our apprenticeship programs is our own curriculum developed by, we have a department with the international called the International Training Institute, fully accredited. Our apprenticeship programs actually are worth, I think, right now 36 credits, college credits. And we also have continuing education, like I'm able to work towards my bachelor's degree right now with continuing classes that our ITI provides. So a lot of our night school instructors and day school instructors actually have gotten their bachelor's degrees and some even masters and going for doctorates even. Started out as sheet metal workers and going through apprenticeship program.
And I do offer a lot of electoral classes too, as I just learned last night about, if I wanted to learn about refrigeration, and then also I do, furnaces, stuff like that. There's extra classes that, they allow us to choose as apprentice to, if we want to be more educated and outside of just the stuff that we mainly work on that's, similar, connected. We have opportunity to learn more about that as well.
Right, even if it's a class that we might not be offering, if it's related to our trade and apprentice or journeyman, even we do journeyman upgrade training. If it's a class that we might not be offering at the time, we do reimburse people for taking those classes also. A lot of our journeyman sheet metal workers move up into the front office of the companies they work for, becoming project managers, overseeing projects, estimators, estimating, getting the bids out on jobs. We talked earlier about the CAD department. We've got a lot of guys doing CAD work right now.
Owners.
Yeah, we've got a lot of owner members even. A lot of our members have gone in business on their own and they become owner members.